Hey there! If you got a sec, I just want to let you know of this brand new freebie that I made with you in mind in order to make your life a whole lot easier. It's called the Top 17 Anti-Inflammatory Kitchen Swaps. It's a list of everyday kitchen items that you currently use and what you should replace them with in order to build a healthier and more anti-inflammatory meal and kitchen oasis. No more overwhelm in a confusing world of food choices. No more staring at ingredients labels trying to decide what's good for you. No more Google search rabbit holes trying to figure out what you should be eating and cooking with in order to support your health. I've got you covered. My freebie is straightforward and tells you to replace this with that. All you have to do in order to grab your free copy is head over to betterwithcarbo.com/swaps. That's betterwithcarbo.com/SWAPS. Can't wait to hear what you think. I remember this one time I was getting a physical done as part of this screening process to start a new job. And it was a nurse who was taking my vitals, and she asked me to get on the scale to take my weight. And it said that I was 175 pounds. And she kind of took a step back and was like, "How can that be? You're a dietitian." And I didn't have the cojones back then to tell her off. Plus, I kind of really wanted this job. But after I left the doctor's office, I wasn't sad. I didn't leave in tears, but I was really pissed off. And I called my husband, who was my boyfriend back then. And I was like, she knows absolutely nothing about me. She just took my weight. She doesn't know my past medical history, my medications, my hormones, my stress, my eating habits, the foods I eat, my muscle mass, my bone density, how much water I drank. How can she make such a bold statement about me by just a number that was on a probably 100-year-old scale? This is why people don't like going to the doctors. Yes, I'm a dietitian, which is why I know that the number on the scale does not define your health, and it doesn't define your worth or your beauty. I'm Krissy Carbo, registered dietitian and host of the Inflamed in the Brain podcast. Here we cut through the confusion and complexity of inflammatory health to deliver straightforward, bite-sized strategies and information you can easily apply to your life. Not too long ago, I was lost in a sea of information, overwhelmed by the challenges of inflammation. But through years of trial, education, and self-discovery, I learned to break free from the chaos of fad diets and cultivate a practical anti-inflammatory lifestyle that not only helped me stabilize my own diagnosis, but thrive with it. Whether you're an autoimmune warrior or simply seeking a healthier, uncomplicated life, you found your tribe. Join me as we explore realistic strategies that can make a profound difference in your life. So if you're ready to embrace a simpler, healthier way of living, you're in the right place, my friend. Let's dive in, learn, and grow together. Welcome to the Inflamed in the Brain podcast. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Inflamed in the Brain podcast. I'm your host and registered dietitian, Krissy, and I'm happy you're here today because International No Diet Day was yesterday, and I thought that today we can celebrate together by talking about how to feel confident in our bodies without weight loss. Let's first get clear about what No Diet Day is actually about, because I think some people might interpret it as a cheat day, and that's not what it's about. International No Diet Day is a day to challenge the messages of diet culture that cause us to be unhealthy and stressed. Diet culture is a term that's been floating around the last couple of years, and if you're not too sure what it means, it's really like the set of beliefs that society has pushed on us that prioritizes thinness and equates thinness and weight loss with health and worth. And with diet culture, if you don't fit into this ideal body image, it's your fault and you need to change. And this leads us to restrictive eating, self-esteem issues, and body image issues. And I think we've all had a little bit of a run-in with pressures from diet culture, if not a little bit, then a lot of it. And the pressures, it makes us feel bad about ourselves, and it makes us feel shameful about our bodies and how they look and how we eat. So International No Diet Day is really meant to encourage us to embrace a healthier relationship with food and our bodies without the pressure to conform to this unrealistic beauty standard or any kind of restrictive eating. With all of that being said, there have been too many times that I've had conversations with women who believe that in order to feel more confident in their bodies, they need to lose weight, or that they're having a hard time staying consistent with exercising, but they know that they need to in order to lose weight and feel more confident. And it might sound a little harsh, but the truth is, weight loss will likely not make you feel more confident. Even if we did reach whatever we set our goal weight to be, we still have this inner critic that stems from diet culture and all the things that diet culture shoves down our throat and makes us believe. Our inner critic tells us that we're not good enough. Even if we lose the weight that we want to lose, that inner critic will point out the cheat shows, the love handles, and the stretch marks and cellulite, and it makes us feel like we're still not happy with how we look. So, truly feeling confident in our bodies isn't just about numbers on a scale, it's about learning to accept and appreciate ourselves, how we are now, flaws and all. So, for today, I want to talk about 5 ways to feel confident in your body without weight loss. I want to support you in rejecting that idea that thinness equates to health or worthiness. And I want to help you feel happy and confident in your body without the pressure of having to lose weight, not just so that you're not conforming or fitting into some arbitrary idea of health and beauty, but it also frees up mental space to focus on the things that make you happy and that really promote your health. So let's kick things off with spending too much time on social media. This is number one on our list. Setting a limit to how much time you spend on social media every day is really important, especially if you're actively trying to feel more confident in your body. These platforms often promote unrealistic beauty standards and idealized images of what all body types are supposed to look like. And on Instagram and TikTok, especially, you're constantly being exposed to carefully curated and filtered photos and videos. So it's really easy to start comparing yourself to others, and this leads to negative thoughts about your own body. I know I struggle a little bit here too with comparing myself to other moms who had babies and what they look like versus how I look like now. And sometimes it's not even comparing yourself to other people, it's comparing yourself to what you used to look like before baby or before whenever you're looking at yourself in the past. And then you just start getting angry with yourself because you feel like at that point you weren't happy with yourself and you were judging how you looked back then, and now you're here and how your body looks now, and you kind of wish that you appreciated what your body looked like back then. So in order to prevent that cycle of, I can't believe I thought that about myself back then, look at how I am now, let's break that cycle and start feeling happy and confident in how we look right now. And by limiting your time on social media platforms, it'll really help you break that cycle of comparison. It gives you a break from that constant influx of images and videos that might make you feel like you're not measuring up. And it's nuts because some of us know that this is not real life, right? Like we know social media is not real life, but these pictures and videos, they're edited and photoshopped and they're finding the right positions and lighting. But we forget that it takes all of that to create that one video or that one photo. So by reducing your exposure here, you can focus a lot more on your own journey. Plus, less time on social media, again, means more time to focus on doing things that allow you to appreciate your body for what it is now. And we're going to keep diving into some of those things next. Second thing that you can do in order to begin to feel more confident in your body without weight loss is just shifting your focus from numbers to what makes you feel good. A lot of us rely on numbers to validate our efforts towards better health, and it's totally understandable. Seeing a specific weight on a scale or a pant size or a calorie count can offer a more tangible measure of progress, right? These numbers almost serve as indicators that we're on the right track. But the thing is that the focus on quantitative metrics can lead to anxiety, stress, and a sense of failure, particularly for all of my fellow perfectionists and type A peeps. When the numbers don't align with your expectations, we feel like we let ourselves down, even when we're doing all of the right things. So to feel more confident in your body, it's really important to shift your attention from numbers to doing what truly makes you feel good. And this approach might seem a little counterintuitive, especially with diet culture telling us that things that taste good and feel good are wrong. But emphasizing numbers can really set you up for disappointment and stress because the truth is, many factors contribute to how much you weigh. Clothing sizes vary across different brands, and the quality of your health involves way more than calories in versus calories out. Instead of thinking about what foods you need to eat in order to lower your calorie intake, think about what foods give you energy, what foods make you feel more satisfied, what foods aren't going to leave you feeling bloated and uncomfortable afterwards. What clothes do you think you look flattering in? What clothes are the most comfortable to you? Think about wearing more of those clothes rather than obsessing over a particular size. And then think about changes that you notice in your body beyond the scale. Are you sleeping better? Do you have fewer aches and pains? By focusing on these kinds of aspects, you can start to feel more in tune with your body and less stressed about hitting some arbitrary target. This will help you build a healthier relationship with your body and give you the confidence boost that you need. This also brings us to our next point about exercising, which is moving your body as a form of body appreciation instead of punishment. If you usually find yourself saying things like, I need to work out tomorrow because I ate too much dinner last night, or I have to hit the gym before that barbecue later, it's time to take a step back. These kinds of thinking do two things. First, it makes you feel guilty for enjoying normal things that people enjoy, like eating out or going to a social event or whatever. And this leads you to blaming yourself for how you look. The second thing that this does is that it creates and reinforces a negative association with exercise and punishment, suggesting that you might have to pay for having a good time. And then it turns exercise into something that you dread instead of something that you could actually look forward to and something that supports your health and makes you feel good about yourself. Exercise can really be an empowering thing to do for yourself that can boost your confidence. There's something about exercising and challenging yourself a little bit each time, like to go a little harder, to go a little faster, to lift a little heavier, to squeeze one more rep in. There's just something about that leaves you feeling like, yeah, I just did that, like that feeling right after. You feel proud about yourself. You feel confident about yourself. It starts with finding a way to move your body in a way that feels good to you. And I know that you might have heard a lot of people say that, like, move your body in a way that feels good to you and a way that you love. And it might sound like a little cheesy, but it's true. When you find something to do, when you find a way to move your body that's fun, exercising regularly becomes an easier thing to do and it becomes easier to feel more confident in your body. Me personally, I never liked going to the gym. I feel like I was always comparing myself with other people around me, not to mention the weight section. I never, ever wanted to lift weights at the gym with all these buff head dudes that are there just constantly looking at themselves in the mirror and almost like possessing whatever weights that they have. So I always just felt more comfortable working out at home. And so I did hop on the Peloton train before the pandemic hit. And I knew that I liked cycling before Peloton. I just didn't want to risk getting hit by a car cycling in New York City. And I also found that platforms like SoulCycle were a bit too expensive if you wanted to cycle on a regular basis. So I invested in a Peloton and I absolutely love it. Their instructors are fun and motivating in a healthy way. Like their instructors aren't like pushing you to go harder, to like burn more calories, burn fat, or any kind of like self-deprecating talk like that. Whenever I feel like I need a quick boost or a pick me up, I always hop on my bike and I tell myself that I'll just go easy. This is more like for my mental health. But as soon as I hop on the bike and I start the class, those days where I feel like I'm just going to take it easy on myself, I had a hard day, those days are the days that I go really hard and I sometimes even reach like a new personal record. But it's also those days that you go really hard that you feel the most accomplished and you feel the most proud about yourself because of what your body was able to do. And moving your body is personal and looks different for everyone. So it just takes a little like soul searching to figure out what works best for you. And this topic of exercising and moving your body kind of brings me into the next point, which is appreciating what your body can do now. Showing your body appreciation for all the things that it does, both big and small, is a really powerful way to build confidence without focusing on weight loss. Instead of getting caught up on what you weigh, take a second to think about the things that your body allows you to do. I know it can seem, again, a little cheesy, but really think about it for a second, because not everyone can move your body as you can. Your body carries you through the day. It lets you move. It lets you play. It lets you play with your kids. It lets you work and interact with the whole world around you. By shifting your perspective to your body's capabilities, you can start to feel more positive and confident about yourself. This is one thing that has really helped me move away from that concept of weight loss in order to be healthier. When I was diagnosed with MS, before I was diagnosed with MS, I kept telling myself that I needed to lose weight because I wanted to be healthy and because I wanted to feel confident about myself. But when I was diagnosed with MS, I was told that this was a progressive disease with disability being inevitable. Since my diagnosis, I made it a point to intentionally move my body in a way that feels good to me, not just for health benefits at this point, and definitely not because I'm trying to be thin to feel healthy, but I move my body because I get to. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, so I want to take advantage and be appreciative of all of the things that it can do now. Even just going beyond exercise. I created a human not that long ago, and then I pushed him out of my body. I think it's really easy to forget just how incredible childbirth is, since having babies is such a common thing that many women go through, especially sometimes more than once. But it's worth taking a moment to really appreciate what your body is capable of. Just the other day, I was holding Arthur in his rocking chair before I put him down to sleep, and I can feel his little spine along my fingers, and I'm staring at his toes, and I just kept thinking, like, man, I did that. I made this. My body created this, and that's pretty damn incredible. Acknowledging your body's strengths also means recognizing its resilience and adaptability. It can heal, it can grow a species, it could adapt to new changes. And by focusing on these strengths and knowing that your body is capable of amazing things, you can start to feel more confident in your body. And this shift in mindset can lead to a healthier self-image, and you're more focused on how incredible it truly is. And finally, one other thing to consider is separating the idea of attractiveness from body size. Many of us have been taught that in order to be attractive, we need to fit into a certain size or look a certain way. Social media and things that we see on TV also promote narrow beauty standards and ultimately make you feel like you need to change in order to fit in. I know when I was growing up, it wasn't so much social media because it really didn't exist back then, but it was more like what I saw in magazines and commercials and like the other girls that were my age that I saw on TV. But the truth is, we don't have to fit into an arbitrary mold in order to feel more beautiful. And once you start rejecting those pressures, you can start to feel more comfortable and confident in your own skin. When you let go of the idea that worth or attractiveness is tied into your size, you can start appreciating other things about yourself. Think things like your smile, your skin, your hair, your sense of humor, your creativity. These are all the things that make you unique and attractive, regardless of what size you wear or how much you weigh. And once you identify those things for yourself, it makes it real easy for you to regularly give yourself a confidence boost. So, for example, I feel the most attractive after getting my eyebrows done or my nails done. So whenever I feel like I need a little boost, a little confidence boost, I'll schedule a wax and I'll maybe get a nice manicure. Maybe for you, it's getting your hair done or even breaking a sweat. Or another one that's kind of like weird, but for me, it works, is wearing matching bras and panties. Don't know why, but it just feels like I have my whole life together when I wear a matching bra and panty set. It can really be anything. There's really no single standard for what makes someone attractive. Although International No Diet Day is one day out of the year that emphasizes the importance of rejecting diet culture and embracing your body and your health without the pressure of losing weight, this is something that you should do on a regular basis. The mere fact that it's hard to feel confident in your body without losing weight is proof that diet culture has ingrained in us that thinness equates to health, and that is just not true. I remember this one time I was getting a physical done as part of this screening process to start a new job. And it was a nurse who was taking my vitals, and she asked me to get on the scale to take my weight. And it said that I was 175 pounds. And she kind of like took a step back and was like, "How can that be? You're a dietitian." And I didn't have the cojones back then to tell her off. Plus, I kind of like really wanted this job. But after I left the doctor's office, I wasn't sad. Like I didn't leave in tears, but I was really pissed off. And I called my husband, who was my boyfriend back then. And I was like, she knows absolutely nothing about me. She just took my weight. She doesn't know my past medical history, my medications, my hormones, my stress, my eating habits, the foods I eat, my muscle mass, my bone density, how much water I drank. How can she make such a bold statement about me by just a number that was on a probably 100-year-old scale? This is why people don't like going to the doctors. Yes, I'm a dietitian, which is why I know that the number on the scale does not define your health, and it doesn't define your worth or your beauty. So I hope that you take what you learned on this episode and take it with you today and every other day, just to remind yourself that it is possible to feel confident in your body without weight loss, and that finding and appreciating all of the things that your body can do for you as it is today is foundational to not just saving your mental health, but also becoming a healthier version of yourself too. So let me know what you found most valuable from this episode. You can send me a message on Instagram. I'm at Better with Carbo. And if you did find value in this episode, please leave a review and share this episode with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our anti-inflammatory conversations. Until next time, same place.